Our two RM85s just ride like two different bikes, so there's an obvious difference. And then they are geared differently as well, and I think they're jetted differently, but obviously with a different pipe. It may have to be jetted differently anyway, but this bike is a lot more rideable. This is a lot more stock, and obviously a lot of top end, no bottom end, and for our level where we're at the lower end of ability, you need a lot more bottom end. And how much bottom end you can expect out of a high revving 85, I don't know, but they are definitely different how they can ride, and that bike is definitely easier to ride. So we're going to change the gearing on this one first of all to see. We're going to down gear it a bit and just see whether we can make it a bit easier to ride. So the original was a 47, and then the new one's a 48. Definitely a poorer quality new one than we've got than what we've taken off, but we'll try it. I've taken the stator cover off, and covers the engine sprocket, but there's just a little bit of movement. I don't know whether that's enough in the tolerances or whether our bottom end needs doing. Our engine sprocket's exactly the same number of teeth, so we've just gone up that one extra tooth on the back. My new chain is 2 links short, so I'm going to use the old chain for now. We're all back together with the old chain, so one thing that I've learned is not to have this chain too tight, and even now that might be a little bit tight. It's one of those things, even when you get older you still learn, and I always thought that was a little bit slack, but as this swing arm comes up, this chain tightens up if it's too tight and puts pressure on that bearing there, and obviously tightens everything up, so you've got to have slack. So all we've got to do now is try it, and it's only 1 tooth difference on the back, so the next step will be to change that pilot jet. So I warmed it up and give it a bit of a go, and it's definitely easy to lift the front wheel now. So whether that's going to sort of correspond with when you're actually out on a tight corner and you open that throttle and it wants to go, rather than just you have to slip the clutch. But it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, technique of riding is what compensates for that lack of bottom end. And if you're a low end ability rider, you want it to be able to pick up off the throttle rather than having to slip that clutch. But it's all part of being a better rider perhaps, but it definitely seems like it's got a little bit more bottom end now, just only 1 tooth bigger on the back.